Dan really starts to deprogram you from the start. And if I'm honest, I'm sure he got this from the military. And that's why if you watch him on day one, he comes out hard. I mean, he really comes out blasting. I think to this day, he walks in the first day, and I think he still hands out tubes of vagina cream and hands it out to everybody in the thing. This is someone who's wearing a suit, who's paid $20,000, $30,000 to be there, and he's handing you out that. He calls everybody cunts. He calls you losers. He makes fun of everybody in the place. He has an old expression that his daughter used to say. His daughter used to say, "Daddy treats everyone the same, like shit." And that's what Dan does. And so he picks on everybody in the room. I'm Brian QLA Rose. The two guys from Cuba are the Goomba brothers. The guy from Qatar is a terrorist or a towelhead. The Mexicans are spics. The black guys, the Chinese, everybody gets made fun of. The women, it's all fair game. So everyone gets feeling quite equal after a while. And again, you're sleeping there, you're being taken care of, and that's what happens. So now I begin the Castle Seminar. I'm wearing a suit and tie every day, which I haven't done in such a long time. And Dan is now instructing about what's going to happen. And of course, I'm recording vlogs on the fly so I can upload that back to London Reelers so they know what's going on. So the next 7 days happens. This is a little bit of a look behind the scenes. If you want to know more, again, all of this content's on the London Reel website. I put together kind of the whole package of what happens before and afterwards. And then after the seminar was over, I had another sit down with Dan that I want to show you after this is over. So this is a little taste of what happens behind the scenes at the Dan Peña Castle Seminar.
I don't say good morning. When you say good morning in the military, you'd say, good morning, Tony. And he'd say, what the fuck's good about it? Have you been sleeping with my wife? Have you fucked my daughter in the mouth? And do you like me? And if you, no matter how you answer it, you're fucked. So whenever somebody says good morning to me, I have these flashbacks. This is you, the room, and this is you, YouTubers. Pay attention, YouTubers, you fucking cunts. You stand around and watch all the opportunities go by. They sit there, oh, I'm getting ready, Bert's getting ready, Bert's getting ready, Rick's getting ready. Oh, maybe the next one, maybe the next one, maybe the next one, oh, fuck, no, I'm tired now. Maybe the next one, and there comes somebody like me, just jumps on the fucker and eats it. Maybe the next one, Ray. Once you become fearless, life becomes limitless. The difference between me and everybody in this room is I have no fear of anything. Now just imagine if you fucking miserable cunts died tonight. The regrets you're carrying to the grave. I wisha, I coulda, I fucking shoulda.
I kind of feel like Charlie Sheen in the movie Apocalypse Now. As if I've been going up the river and I've been taking the train up through England for 6 hours to get to the castle, and I've been reading the QLA emails and newsletters and listening to the podcasts of Colonel Kurtz, also known as Dan Peña, and my mission has been to come up here to kill him, just like in the movie. And now that I'm here, I want to join him.
I'm high on life. I don't need DMT or ayahuasca. Why? That's all horse shit. Those are for losers.
This is all about your legacy. This
Correct.
is all about what Dan's left on the world.
Correct.
So that's important to you.
Yeah, it is.
You're honest about that.
Yeah, I am.
And
I'm selfish about it.
Okay, you're selfish.
And I tell people, one of the things that you need to do, and I'm stealing my thunder, is you need to be more selfish.
Me?
You, as an individual. Because you can't love somebody or love what you're doing unless you love yourself. The biggest difference between me and the people in this room is I take responsibility for my actions. And I don't blame them on other people. And that's tough, even when I make a mistake, which is rare. But early in my career, I made a lot of them.
Yes, I am wearing a suit and tie. I'm sure you've never seen me shoot one of these videos dressed like this. It kind of makes you confront things about yourself that you might really not want to talk about or even think about. And it's something that we all try to ignore, and sometimes we distract ourselves with media and the internet, and we don't ever really look a deep look at ourselves.
So that is basically a synopsis of what it's like to be there at the castle for a week. Obviously, I was on an emotional roller coaster. I didn't know what was happening, but things changed over the course of it. As you can see, the first night, I felt, almost like I was in the movie Apocalypse Now, and I was, Martin Sheen, and I'd gone up the river to see Colonel Kurtz, and I was supposed to kill him. And then when I got there, I realized that this madman was actually maybe somehow madly intelligent, and then I wanted to join him. It was just this weird parallel that I drew. I don't know why. And I wrote a whole blog article about that as well. But as the week proceeded, I found that I was really starting to crack through and understand what I needed to tap into myself to make me limitless. And I think it was the second day where I actually had a private meeting with Dan. And Dan does 30-minute private meetings with everybody at the Ghost of the Castle seminar. And I went into his office, and it was very simple. He sat down and said, "How can I help?" And I stood up, and he said, "You can sit down." And I said, "I got to stand up, Dan." And I proceeded to have what I call my come to Jesus moment, where I told him everything I was doing wrong, how I was living in fear, how London Real was small because I was worried about being judged, and I was worried about spending money on the show to make it bigger, and all these things, and how I had a whole plan how I was going to take it to the next level. And Dan just kind of sat there, and he was just like, "Okay." And so people always say, "What happened at the castle, Brian?" Dan didn't get in my face and yell at me and slap me around. He just made me realize that I was playing small and that my life was going to be over. I was going to be dead sooner than later. And I would have left all of this unfulfilled potential on earth. And Dan, that's one of his lines, and that's coming soon when he says things like that. And so it snapped in me that I had to take action now. And if you know your body is decaying and every day is precious, then why wouldn't you make every day the best you can make it? Why wouldn't you work so hard to where when you put your head on the pillow, you crash? I mean, every day should be an exhaustive effort of you trying to be the best you can be.